I'm friends with Lovey. I mean, I think he's a heck of a guy and a great coach. He came from that Tampa 2 group of coaches that did that, and he's evolved with that and with the way the game is now. So he's going to give you a great defense that plays hard and aggressive, an offense that's tough. I mean, just the fact that they used 2 quarterbacks and platooned them. It wasn't because one wasn't doing well, but they platooned him in, and he's not afraid to do whatever he has to do to win the game, and so that's where the challenge comes in. And his guys play hard for him, so you have to be prepared and ready to go. And in this league, the margin between winning and losing is like that. It's crazy, greater than it's ever been right now. So.
Andy Reid's press conference is brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Stop by any Casey location for Travis Kelce's 87 and Running Concrete and help raise money for this worthy cause. 87 and Running and Andy's Frozen Custard, the perfect option play for Casey fans everywhere.
Really don't have any injuries to talk about. Cole Hardman will be back out at practice. We'll just see how he does in this ramp-up process. So haven't determined play or not play. We're just going to ease him back in and see where he's at. Everybody else will practice and do their thing. Before the challenge of playing the Texans, we know records. You can put those things aside at this time of the year. This group here plays hard. They're well coached, and we've got to make sure that we have a good week of practice and get ready for them. So, with that, time's yours.
Coach, how close is Kadarius Toney to actually getting back on the field in live action for y'all?
Yeah, so he had a little bit of a ramp up last week, which was good. Came out of that feeling pretty good. So we'll see how he does this week and make a decision, down the road here. So take it day by day, if you want to put that. I mean, just see how he does.
Andy, with Patrick, the previous week you said he had to eliminate one dumb play a game, and this week you said he had a bad play with the interception. What do you guys talk about to try to eliminate those plays as you get into the stretch run?
Yeah, well, nobody likes to make those, but at the same time, you don't want to curb his aggressiveness and desire to make a play. So, because he made a couple good ones too in there. That's not going to happen very often with him. It happens with every quarterback, but they got to keep firing. I mean, you start getting hesitant, and then everything falls apart on you. So he'll learn from it and move on. It's pretty simple things that he can adjust to fix it. So, and that's how he's wired. I mean, he's going to go back and look at it, study it, and go, okay, got it under control. Here we go.
Coach, when he dropped, there's the stat I was looking at. Patrick was 13 of 15 for 148, 2 touchdowns when he was blitzed. Right, they also had times when they're dropping a lot of guys. When they do that, is your offense structured that there's always something for that, or is it that you got to get to a different spot on the play sheet and have the right dial up for when they do that?
Yeah, you hope that it's situated within it. However, there are some things that are better than others. You don't want to get caught in a guessing game. If you have a true hard sold tendency there that they're doing this on this down or this particular part of the field, then you can dial up one of these other plays. But normally your normal plays that we put in for the different areas normally cover that in there somewhere. Yeah.
I know you often come out and say, hey, I got to give him better things. Patrick comes out and says, I got to make better decisions, right? But so it's obviously a joint effort between
Absolutely.
You guys and the whole staff and everything. But how obviously you get it right more than you get it wrong, right? You're not standing at that podium for this many years if you don't. But how often do you feel like oh wow, they got me? That you just have to tip your cap to the other coach?
Yeah, when I tell you that, I'm kind of tipping my hat to them. They're sometimes that's the fun part. It's a chess match, and every once in a while they're going to get you, and you hope you get them more than they get you, and so there's some great minds in this league and good football minds, and so they're going to get you every once in a while.
Andy, we're at the latter third of the season. Just, I wonder, with you guys' pursuit of Juju the year prior, just what has he given the offense that perhaps you anticipated on his arrival and perhaps that you didn't anticipate?
Yeah, we were hoping that he could kind of counter Kels. And this offense is best when you can kind of do that. We had Sammy, and then Pringle developed into that as we went. And that's when it rolls the best. And so he's come in and done that and does a nice job with it. So he's got a great feel for the game. He's got great feel in space. And then he's really tough to bring down. I kind of forgot about that part. After he gets that ball in his hands, man, you try to hit him in his lower body, he can shuck it off like a running back, and that's special to have that.
Coach, you mentioned McColl's going to be back. How did he handle these last 4 weeks behind the scenes, and what are the unique traits maybe you felt like you missed over that stretch?
And we lost a bunch of weight, and so it was a matter of kind of getting that back, but not, with cheeseburgers, right? But get back some good hearty weight and strength, and so he's been working on that. He's been working like crazy on that, and he's going to continue to do that here. He'll do that this week when he's out practicing and doing that. Okay, can we hold the weight and add a little bit to it? So.
Coach, you mentioned throw the records out when you're facing a team that's struggled with the wins and losses. They've obviously battled hard. They almost won last week. This is a coach that you've seen in the past, right? What does a Lovie Smith team look like traditionally, and has this team got some of those characteristics?
No, I'm friends with Lovie. I mean, I think he's a heck of a guy and a great coach. He came from that Tampa 2 group of coaches that did that, and he's evolved with that and with the way the game is now. So he's going to give you a great defense that plays hard and aggressive, an offense that's tough. I mean, just the fact that they used 2 quarterbacks and platooned them, it wasn't because one wasn't doing well, but they platooned him in, and he's not afraid to do whatever he has to do to win the game. And so that's where the challenge comes in. And his guys play hard for him. So you have to be prepared and ready to go. And in this league, the margin between winning and losing is like that. It's crazy, greater than it's ever been right now. So
your years at BYU overlapped with Mike Leach's, and I'm wondering if you ever came across. I know he didn't play football, but did you come across him? And he was, I guess, working in the office at some point during his career.
Yeah, no, that was before me. I'm a little bit older, but I knew Mike, and a good guy and very creative. He didn't visit here, but he spent some time with us in Philadelphia during training camp a couple different times, and just a good guy. I mean, it's a sad deal, but he left a nice legacy behind him for sure for football, and good. Like I said, very unique. I mean, the story. I love the story he told me. But I said, you know Donald Trump? We got talking about that. This was years ago, even before Donald was the president. And he goes, oh yeah, I was walking through New York. I saw the tower, went up, introduced myself to him. Like it was no big deal. I mean, he talked himself through. I mean, Donald had security back then too. He talked himself through that, and then Donald found him that kind of personality. I mean, he was just a unique guy, and that's the way he coached, and that's why everybody loved him for that. Yeah.
Would you say Patrick's something of a descendant? I mean,
Yeah, sure. Yeah. His coach, played for him, or worked with him for sure. Yeah.
Couple more guys.
Coach, NFL exec Troy Vincent said this morning at the league meeting there would be a, quote, a healthy discussion, end quote, on making roughing the passer either reviewable or challengeable. So the discussions will come up in March at the owners' meeting. How much do you support this sudden movement to make that roughing the passer penalty reviewable?
I'm gonna hold off on that. Because I'm gonna be in those meetings, so I'm gonna sit on the picket fence on that one.
We'll go Nate and Sam to finish up.
Andy, on another coach, again, we're towards the latter half of the season. I just wonder, with Mike Kafka being an offensive coordinator for the first time, have you had conversation with him? Have you had time to look at what the Giants have done? Obviously, they're in a playoff push, but just seeing another guy being in that role for the
He's
first
done.
time under you.
Yeah, we've texted back for it. I mean, we're both busy and cranking away. You don't have a lot of time to have phone calls and that. So, but we have texted, and I think he's done a tremendous job. And they're playing good football, and my hat goes off to him. And Dable too. I mean, Dable was here. You guys know him, and what a great job. That's a tough place. You know, that whole eastern seaboard area, man. That's a great competition right there. So that's I think my hat goes off to those guys. Yeah.
Last one, Sam.
Andy, I'm guessing usually by this time of the year, you've got a pretty good idea of where you guys are, but with the secondary being so young, how much are you still learning about the strengths and weaknesses, what you guys can do with that?
Yeah. So they're kind of getting through that part of the year where the bowl games are starting, the season's over, and now you got another season. So they kind of go through that whole rookie thing, and if they're playing, they have the chance to play, and they're going, man, my body's a little of this, and my mind's a little of this, and I got to power through it, and here we go. So, but I love their attitude. I love the way they compete, and I love the way they're getting better, and it's early it was leaps and bounds, and now it's settled down a little bit to where it's smaller jumps, but we're going to be okay there. The attitude's got to stay the way it is, and keep competing and have a short memory when you're back there. That's one thing you have to learn in this league, that you better learn from it, get that in there, and then get the garbage out, and then go compete the next play.